Chapter 4. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, Take a census of the sons of Kehath from among the children of Levi by their clans, by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who enter the service to do the work in the tent of appointment. This is the service of the sons of Kehath in the tent of appointment, the most set-apart matters. At the breaking of camp, Aharon and his sons shall come, and they shall take down the covering veil, and cover the ark of witness with it, and shall put on it a covering of fine leather, and spread over that an all-blue wrapper, and shall insert its poles. And on the table of showbread they shall spread a blue wrapper, and shall put on it the dishes, and the ladles, and the bowls, and the jars for pouring, and the showbread on it. And they shall spread over them a scarlet wrapper, and cover the same with a covering of fine leather, and shall insert its poles. And shall take a blue wrapper, and cover the lampstand of the light with its lamps, and its snuffers, and its trays, and all its oil vessels, by which they serve it. And they shall put it with all its utensils in a covering of fine leather, and put it on a bar. And over the golden slaughter place they shall spread a blue wrapper, and cover it with a covering of fine leather, and shall insert its poles. And they shall take all the utensils of service with which they serve in the set-apart place, and shall put them in a blue wrapper. Cover them with a covering of fine leather, and put them on a bar, and shall remove the ashes from the slaughter place, and spread a purple wrapper over it, and shall put on it all its utensils by which they serve there, the fire holders, the forks, and the shovels, and the basins, and all the utensils of the slaughter place, and shall spread on it a covering of fine leather, and insert its poles. And when Aharon and his sons have finished covering the set-apart objects, and all the furnishings of the set-apart place at the breaking of camp, then the sons of Kehath shall come to lift them, but let them not touch that which is set apart, lest they die. These matters are the burden of the sons of Kehath in the tent of appointment. And the oversight of Eleazar, son of Aharon the priest, is the oil for the light, and the sweet incense, and the daily grain offering, and the anointing oil, and the oversight of all the dwelling place, and all that is in it, with the set-apart place and its furnishings. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, Do not cut off the tribe of the clans of the Kehathites from among the Levites, but do this to them, and they shall live and not die when they approach the most set-apart objects. Aharon and his sons shall go in, and appoint each of them to his service and his burden. They are not, however, to go in to watch while the set-apart objects are being covered, lest they die. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Take a census also of the sons of Gershon by their father's house, by their clans. Register them from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who enter to perform the service, to do the service in the tent of appointment. This is the service of the clans of the Gershonites in serving and in bearing burdens, and they shall bear the curtains of the dwelling place and the tent of appointment, with its covering, the covering of fine leather that is on it, the covering for the door of the tent of appointment, and the screens of the courtyard, and the covering for the door of the gate of the courtyard, which is around the dwelling place, and the slaughter place, and their cords, all the equipment for their service, and all that is made for them, so shall they serve. At the mouth of Aharon and his sons is all the service of the sons of Gershonites, all their burden and all their service, and you shall appoint to them all the duty of all their burden. This is the service of the clans of the sons of Gershon in the tent of appointment, and let their duties be under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aharon, the priest. As for the sons of Merari, register them by their clans and by their father's house. Register them from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who enter the service to do the work of the tent of appointment. And this is the duty of their burden, according to all their service for the tent of appointment, the boards of the dwelling place, and its bars, and its columns and its sockets, and the columns around the courtyard with their sockets, and their pegs and their cords, with all their equipment and all their service, and assign to each by name the equipment of the duty of their burden. This is the service of the clans of the sons of Merari, as all their service for the tent of appointment, under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aharon the priest. So Moshe and Aharon and the leaders of the congregation registered the sons of the Kehathites by their clans and by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who entered the service for work in the tent of appointment. And their registered ones by their clans were 2,750. These were the registered ones of the clans of the Kehathites, all those serving in the tent of appointment, whom Moshe and Aharon registered according to the mouth of Yahuwah by the hand of Moshe. And those registered ones of the sons of Gershon, by their clans and by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who entered the service for work in the tent of appointment, the registered ones, by their clans, by their father's house, were 2,630. These were the registered ones of the clans of the sons of Gershon, of all who serve in the tent of appointment, whom Moshe and Aharon registered, according to the mouth of Yahuwah. And those of the clans of the sons of Merari, who were registered by their clans, by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who entered the service for work in the tent of appointment, the registered ones, by their clans were 3,200. These were the registered ones of the clans of the sons of Merari, whom Moshe and Aharon registered, according to the mouth of Yahuwah, by the hand of Moshe. All the registered ones of the Levites, whom Moshe and Aharon and the leaders of Israel registered, by their clans and by their fathers' houses, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who came to do the work of service and the work of bearing burdens in the tent of appointment, their registered ones were 8,580. According to the mouth of Yahuwah, they were registered by the hand of Moshe, each according to his service and according to his burden. Thus they were registered by him, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. Chapter 5. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel to send out of the camp every leper, and everyone who has a discharge, and whoever becomes defiled for a being. Send out both male and female. Send them outside the camp, so that they do not defile their camps in the midst of which I dwell. And the children of Israel did so, to send them outside the camp. As Yahuwah had spoken to Moshe, so the children of Israel did. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, when a man or woman commits any sin that men commit in trespass against Yahuwah, and that being is guilty, then they shall confess their sin which they have done, and he shall restore his guilt in its principal, plus 1/5 of it, and give it to whom he has been guilty. But if the man has no redeemer to restore the guilt to, the guilt which is restored goes to Yahuwah, for the priest, in addition to the ram of the atonement with which atonement is made for him. And every contribution of all the set-apart gifts of the children of Israel, which they bring to the priest, becomes his. And every man's set-apart gifts become his. Whatever any man gives the priest becomes his. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When any man's wife turns aside and has committed a trespass against him, and a man has intercourse with her, and it is hidden from the eyes of her husband, and it is concealed that she has defiled herself, and that there was no witness against her, nor was she caught, and a spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife, who has defiled herself, or a spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife, although she has not defiled herself, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest, and he shall bring the offering for her, 1/10 of an ephah of barley flour. He is not to pour oil on it, or put frankincense on it, because it is a grain offering of jealousy, an offering for remembrance, for bringing crookedness to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near, and shall make her stand before Yahuwah. And the priest shall take set-apart water in an earthen vessel, and take some of the dust that is on the floor of the dwelling place, and put it into the water. And the priest shall make the woman stand before Yahuwah, and shall uncover the woman's head, and put the offering for remembering in her hands, which is the grain offering of jealousy, while the priest holds in his hand the bitter water that brings a curse. And the priest shall make her swear and say to the woman, If no man has lain with you, and if you have not turned aside to uncleanness under your husband's authority, be free from this bitter water that brings a curse. But if you have turned aside under your husband's authority, and if you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband has lain with you, then the priest shall make the woman swear with the oath of the curse, and he shall say to the woman, Yahuwah make you a curse and an oath among your people, when Yahuwah makes your thigh waste away and your belly swell. And this water that causes the curse shall go into your inward parts, and make your belly swell, and your thigh waste away. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and shall wipe them off into the bitter water, and shall make the woman drink the bitter water that brings the curse, and the water that brings the curse shall enter her to become bitter. And the priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy from the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before Yahuwah, and bring it to the slaughter place. And the priest shall take a hand filled with the offering, as its remembrance offering, and burn it on the slaughter place. And afterward make the woman drink the water. And when he has made her drink the water, then it shall be, if she has defiled herself and has committed a trespass against her husband, that the water that brings the curse shall enter her, and become bitter. And her belly shall swell, and her thighs shall waste away, and the woman shall become a curse among her people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be clear and shall conceive children. This is the Torah of jealousy, when a wife turns aside under her husband's authority and defiles herself, or when a spirit of jealousy comes upon a man, and he becomes jealous of his wife. Then he shall make the woman stand before Yahuwah, and the priest shall do to her all this Torah. And the man shall be clear from crookedness, but the woman bear her crookedness. Chapter 6. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When a man or woman does separate, by making a vow of a Nazirite, to be separate to Yahuwah, he separates himself from wine and strong drink. He drinks neither vinegar of wine, nor vinegar of strong drink. Neither does he drink any grape juice, nor eat grapes or raisins. All the days of his separation, he does not eat whatever is made of the grapevine, from seed to skin. All the days of the vow of his separation, a razor does not come upon his head, until the days are completed for which he does separate himself to Yahuwah. He is set apart. He shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow long. All the days of his separation to Yahuwah, he does not go near a dead body. He does not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, for his brother or his sister, when they die, because his separation to Elohim is on his head. All the days of his separation he is set apart to Yahuwah. And when anyone dies beside him in an instant, suddenly, and he has defiled the head of his separation, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day he shaves it. And on the 8th day he brings 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the door of the tent of appointment. And the priest shall prepare one as a sin offering, and the other as an ascending offering, and shall make atonement for him, because he sinned by reason of the dead body. And he shall set apart his head on that day, and shall separate to Yahuwah the days of his separation, and shall bring a male lamb a year old as a guilt offering. But the former days are not counted, because his separation was defiled. And this is the Torah of the Nazirite. When the days of his separation are completed, he is brought to the door of the tent of appointment, and he shall bring his offering to Yahuwah, 1 male lamb a year old, a perfect one, as an ascending offering, and 1 ewe lamb a year old, a perfect one, as a sin offering, and 1 ram, a perfect one, as a peace offering, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, and unleavened thin cakes anointed with oil, and their grain offering with their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before Yahuwah, and prepare his sin offering and his ascending offering. And he shall prepare the ram as a slaughtering of peace offerings to Yahuwah, together with the basket of unleavened bread. And the priest shall prepare its grain offering and its drink offering. And the Nazirite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tent of appointment, and shall take the hair from the head of his separation, and shall put it on the fire which is under the slaughtering of the peace offerings. And the priest shall take the boiled shoulder of the ram, and 1 unleavened cake from the basket, and 1 unleavened thin cake, and put them upon the hands of the Nazirite, after he has shaved his hair of separation. Then the priest shall wave them a wave offering before Yahuwah. It is set apart for the priest, besides the breast of the wave offering, and besides the thigh of the contribution. And afterwards the Nazirite shall drink wine. This is the Torah of the Nazirite, who vows to Yahuwah, the offering for his separation, and besides that, whatever else his hand is able to provide, according to the vow which he takes, So he shall do according to the Torah of his separation. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon and his sons, saying, This is how you bless the children of Israel. Say to them, Yahuwah bless you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahuwah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall bless them. Chapter 7. And it came to be when Moshe finished setting up the dwelling place, that he anointed it and set it apart, and all its furnishings, as well as the slaughter place and all its utensils. Thus he anointed them and set them apart. And the leaders of Israel, heads of their fathers' houses, who were the leaders of the tribes, and over the ones registered, drew near, and they brought their offering before Yahuwah, 6 covered wagons and 12 cattle, a wagon for every 2 of the leaders, and for each one a bull. And they brought them near before the dwelling place. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Accept these from them, and they shall be used in doing the service of the tent of appointment, and you shall give them to the Levites, each one according to his service. And Moshe took the wagons and the cattle and gave them to the Levites. He gave 2 wagons and 4 cattle to the sons of Gershon, according to their service. And he gave 4 wagons and 8 cattle to the sons of Merari, according to their service, under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aharon the priest. But to the sons of Kehath he gave none, because theirs was the service of the set-apart objects, which they bore on their shoulders. And the leaders brought the dedication offering of the slaughter place in the day it was anointed. So the leaders brought their offering before the slaughter place. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, Let them bring their offering 1 leader each day for the dedication of the slaughter place. And the one who brought his offering on the first day was Nahashon, son of Amminadab, from the tribe of Yehudah. And his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nahashon, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel, son of Zuar, leader of Issachar, brought near. He brought his offering, 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nathaniel, son of Zuar. On the third day, Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the children of Zebulun, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eliab, son of Helon. On the fourth day, Elitzur, son of Shedaiur, leader of the children of Reuben, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elitzur, son of Shedaiur. On the 5th day, Shelemuel, son of Zurishaddai, leader of the children of Shimon. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Shalemuel, son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, son of Deuel, leader of the children of Gad. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil, as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eliasaph, son of Deuel. On the 7th day, Elishama, son of Ammihud, leader of the children of Ephraim. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughter of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elishama, son of Ammihud. On the 8th day, Gamaliel, son of Pedahatzur, leader of the children of Manasseh. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Gamaliel, son of Pedahatzur. On the 9th day, Abinadab, son of Gedoni, leader of the children of Benjamin. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Abidan, son of Gedoni. On the 10th day, Achiezer, son of Ammishaddai, leader of the children of Dan. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Achiezer, son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Okran, leader of the children of Asher. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Pagiel, son of Okran. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Enan, leader of the children of Naphtali, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Ahira, son of Enan. This was the dedication of the slaughter place from the leaders of Israel. When it was anointed, 12 silver dishes, 12 silver bowls, 12 gold ladles. Each silver dish was 130 shekels, and each bowl 70 shekels. All the silver of the vessels was 2,400 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place. And the 12 gold ladles filled with incense was 10 shekels each, according to the shekel of the set-apart place. All the gold of the ladles was 120 shekels. All the cattle for the ascending offering were 12 young bulls, the rams 12, the male lambs a year old 12, with their grain offering, and the male goats as an offering 12. And all the cattle for the slaughtering of peace offerings were 24 bulls, the rams 60, the male goats 60, the lambs a year old 60. This was the dedication of the slaughter place after it was anointed. And when Moshe went into the tent of appointment to speak with him, he heard the voice of one speaking to him from above the lid of atonement that was on the ark of the witness, from between the 2 cherubim. Thus he spoke to him. Chapter 8. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon and say to him, When you ascend to trim lamps, let the 7 lamps give light in front of the lampstand. And Aharon did so. He set up the lamps to face toward the front of the lampstand, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And this is the work of the lampstand, beaten work of gold, from its base to its blossoms it is beaten work, according to the pattern which Yahuwah had shown Moshe. So he made the lampstand. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and you shall cleanse them, and do this to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of sin offering on them, and they shall shave all their body, and shall wash their garments, and cleanse themselves, and shall take a young bowl with its grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, while you take another young bowl as a sin offering. And you shall bring the Levites before the tent of appointment, and you shall assemble all the congregation of the children of Israel. And you shall bring the Levites before Yahuwah, and the children of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites. And Aharon shall wave the Levites before Yahuwah, a wave offering from the children of Israel. So shall they be for doing the service of Yahuwah. And the Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the young bulls, and one shall be prepared as a sin offering, and the other as an ascending offering to Yahuwah, to make atonement for the Levites. And you shall have the Levites stand before Aharon and his sons, and then wave them, a wave offering to Yahuwah. Thus you shall separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. Then after that, the Levites shall go in to do service in the tent of appointment, when you have cleansed them and waved them as a wave offering. For they are given ones, given to me from among the children of Israel. I have taken them for myself instead of all who open the womb, the firstborn of all the children of Israel. For all the firstborn among the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I struck all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, I set them apart unto myself. And I have taken the Levites instead of all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aharon and his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tent of appointment, and to make atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel, when the children of Israel come near the set-apart place. Thus Moshe and Aharon and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites, according to all that Yahuwah commanded Moshe concerning the Levites, so the children of Israel did to them. And the Levites cleansed themselves and washed their garments, and Aharon waved them, a wave offering before Yahuwah. And Aharon made atonement for them to cleanse them. Then after that the Levites went in to do their service in the tent of appointment, before Aharon and his sons, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe concerning the Levites, so they did to them. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, This applies to the Levites from 25 years old and above. Let him come into active service in the service of the tent of appointment. And at the age of 50 years they retire from active service of the service, and serve no more. But they shall attend with their brothers in the tent of appointment, to guard the duty, but shall do no service. Thus you shall do to the Levites regarding their duties. Chapter 9. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first new moon of the second year, after they had come out of the land of Mitzrayim, saying, Now let the children of Israel perform the Pesach at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this new moon, between the evenings, perform it at its appointed time. According to all its laws and right rulings, you perform it. And Moshe spoke to the children of Israel to perform the Pesach. So they performed the Pesach on the 14th day of the first new moon, between the evenings, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that Yahuwah commanded Moshe. So the children of Israel did. But there were men who were defiled for a being of a man, so that they were not able to perform the Pesach on that day. So they came before Moshe and Aharon that day. And those men said to him, We are defiled for the being of a man. Why are we withheld from bringing near the offering of Yahuwah at its appointed time among the children of Israel? And Moshe said to them, Wait, let me hear what Yahuwah commands concerning you. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, When any male of you or your generations is unclean for a being, or is far away on a journey, he shall still perform the Pesach of Yahuwah. On the 14th day of the second new moon, between the evenings, they perform it. With unleavened bread and bitter herbs they eat it. They do not leave of it until morning, and they do not break a bone of it. According to all the laws of the Pesach, they perform it. But the man who is clean and is not on a journey and has failed to perform the Pesach, that same being shall be cut off from among his people, because he did not bring the offering of Yahuwah at its appointed time. That man bears his sin. And when a sojourner sojourns among you, then he shall perform the Pesach of Yahuwah. He shall do so according to the law of the Pesach, and according to its right ruling. You have one law, both for the sojourner and the native of the land. And on the day that the dwelling place was raised up, the cloud covered the dwelling place, the tent of the witness. From evening until morning it was above the dwelling place, like the appearance of fire. Thus it was continually. The cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tent, after that the children of Israel would depart. And in the place where the cloud dwelt, there the children of Israel would camp. At the mouth of Yahuwah the children of Israel departed, and at the command of Yahuwah they camped. They remained camped as long as the cloud dwelt above the dwelling place. Even when the cloud lingered many days above the dwelling place, the children of Israel guarded the charge of Yahuwah, and did not depart. And so it was, when the cloud was above the dwelling place a few days according to the mouth of Yahuwah, they camped, and according to the mouth of Yahuwah, they would depart. And so it was, when the cloud dwelt only from evening until morning. When the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they departed, whether by day or by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up, they departed. Whether 2 days, or a new moon, or a year that the cloud lingered above the dwelling place, to dwell upon it. The children of Israel camped, and did not depart. But when it was taken up, they departed. At the mouth of Yahuwah they camped, and at the mouth of Yahuwah they departed. They guarded the charge of Yahuwah, at the mouth of Yahuwah, by the hand of Moshe. Chapter 10. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Make 2 silver trumpets for yourself. Make them of beaten work, and you shall use them for gathering of the congregation and for breaking camp. And when they blow both of them, all the congregation shall meet before you at the door of the tent of appointment. And if they blow one, then the leaders, the heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather to you. And when you blow a shout, The camps that lie on the east side shall depart. And when you blow a shout the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall depart. They blow a shout for them to depart. And when the assembly is to be assembled, you blow, but do not shout. And the sons of Aharon the priests blow with the trumpets, and it shall be to you for a law forever throughout your generations. And when you go into battle in your land against the enemy that distresses you, then you shall shout with the trumpets, and you shall be remembered before Yahuwah your Elohim, and you shall be saved from your enemies. And in the day of your gladness, and in your appointed times, and at the beginning of your new moons, you shall blow the trumpets over your ascending offerings, and over your slaughterings of peace offerings, and they shall be a remembrance for you before your Elohim. I am Yahuwah your Elohim. And it came to be on the 20th day of the second new moon, in the second year, that the cloud was taken up from above the dwelling place of the witness, and the children of Israel departed, setting out from the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud dwelt on it in the wilderness of Paran. Thus they departed the first time according to the mouth of Yahuwah, by the hand of Moshe. And the banner of the camp of the children of Yehudah departed first according to their divisions. And over their army was Nahashon, son of Amminadab. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nathaniel, son of Zuar. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab, son of Helon. And the dwelling place was taken down. And the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari departed, bearing the dwelling place. And the banner of the camp of Reuben departed according to their divisions. And over their army was Eletzur, son of Shediaur. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Shimon was Shelemuel, son of Zuri Shaddai. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Gad was Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. And the Kehathites departed, bearing the set-apart objects, while the dwelling place was set up before they came. And the banner of the camp of the children of Ephraim departed, according to their divisions. And over their army was Elishama, son of Ammihud. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Manasseh was Gamaliel, son of Pedahatzur. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Benjamin was Abinadan, son of Gedoni. Then the banner of the camp of the children of Dan, which formed the rear guard of all the camps, departed according to their divisions. And over their army was Achiezer, son of Ammishaddai. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pagiel, the son of Okran. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Naphtali was Ahira, the son of Enan. Such was the order of the setting out of the children of Israel, according to their divisions when they departed. And Moshe said to Hobab, the son of Reuel the Midianite, Moshe's father-in-law, "We are setting out for a place of which Yahuwah said, I give it to you. Come with us, and we shall do good to you, for Yahuwah has spoken good concerning Israel." And he replied to him, "I am not going, but I am going to my own land and to my relatives." Then he said, "Please do not leave us, because you know how we are to camp in the wilderness, and you shall be our eyes. And it shall be that when you go with us, then it shall be that whatever good Yahuwah does to us, the same we shall do to you." So they set out from the mountain of Yahuwah on a journey of 3 days, and the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah went before them for the 3 days' journey, to seek out a resting place for them. And the cloud of Yahuwah was above them by day, when they went out from the camp. And it came to be, whenever the ark set out, that Moshe said, "Rise up, O Yahuwah, and let your enemies be scattered, and let those who hate you flee before you." And when it rested, he said, "Return, O Yahuwah, to the countless thousands of Israel." Chapter 11. And it came to be, when the people were as complainers, it was evil in the ears of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah heard it, and his displeasure burned. And the fire of Yahuwah burned among them, and consumed those in the outskirts of the camp. And the people cried out to Moshe, and Moshe prayed to Yahuwah, and the fire died down. Then he called the name of the place Tabirah, because the fire of Yahuwah had burned among them. And the mixed multitude who were in their midst lusted greatly. So the children of Israel also wept again and said, "Who is giving us meat to eat? We remember the fish that we ate without cost in Mitzrayim,
the cucumbers, and the melons, and the leeks, and the onions, and the garlic. But now our being is dried up. There's nothing to look at but this manna."
Now the manna was like coriander seed, and its appearance like the appearance of bdellium. The people went about and gathered it, ground it on millstones, or beat it in the mortar, and cooked it in a pot, and made cakes of it. And its taste was as the taste of cakes baked with oil. And when the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna fell on it. And Moshe heard the people weeping throughout their clans, each man at the door of his tent. And the displeasure of Yahuwah burned exceedingly, and in the eyes of Moshe it was evil. So Moshe said to Yahuwah,
"Why have you done evil to your servant? Why have I not found favor in your eyes, to put the burden of all these people on me? Was it I who conceived all these people? Was it I who brought them forth, that you should say to me, 'Carry them in your bosom,' as the foster father carries a nursing child, to the land which you swore to their fathers? Where am I to get meat to give to all these people? For they weep before me, saying, 'Give us meat to eat.' I am unable to bear all these people alone, because the burden is too heavy for me. And if you are doing this to me, kill me. Please kill me, if I have found favor in your eyes, and let me not see my evil."
Then Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of appointment, and let them stand there with you. And I shall come down and speak with you there, and shall take of the spirit that is on you and put on them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, so that you do not bear it yourself alone. And say to the people, Set yourselves apart for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat, because you have wept in the hearing of Yahuwah, saying, Who is giving us meat to eat? For it was well with us in Mitzrayim. And Yahuwah shall give you meat, and you shall eat. You are going to eat not 1 day, not 2 days, not 5 days, not 10 days, nor 20 days, but for a new moon of days, until it comes out of your nostrils, and becomes an abomination to you, because you have rejected Yahuwah, who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why did we come out of Mitzrayim? And Moshe said, The people in whose midst I am are 600,000 men on foot, and you have said I give them meat to eat for a new moon of days? Could flocks and herds be slain for them, to be sufficient for them? Or could all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, to be sufficient for them? And Yahuwah said to Moshe, Is the arm of Yahuwah too short? Now see whether my word meets you or not. And Moshe went out and spoke to the people the words of Yahuwah. And he gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people and placed them around the tent. And Yahuwah came down in the cloud and spoke to him, and took the spirit that was upon him, and placed the same upon the 70 elders. And it came to be, when the spirit rested upon them, that they prophesied, but did not continue. However, 2 men had remained in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad, and the spirit rested upon them. Now they were among those listed, but did not go out to the tent, and they prophesied in the camp. And a young man ran and informed Moshe and said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And Joshua, son of Nun, Moshe's assistant from his youth, answered and said, Moshe, my master, forbid them. Then Moshe said to him, Are you jealous for my sake? Oh, that all the people of Yahuwah were prophets, that Yahuwah would put his spirit upon them. And Moshe returned to the camp, both he and the elders of Israel. And a wind went forth from Yahuwah, and it brought quail from the sea, and let them fall beside the camp, about a day's journey on this side, and about a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the surface of the ground. And the people were up all that day and all that night, and all the next day, and gathered the quail. He who had least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. The meat was still between their teeth before it was chewed, and the wrath of Yahuwah burned against the people. And Yahuwah struck the people with an exceeding great plague. Then he called the name of that place Kibroth Hattawa, because there they buried the people who had lusted. From Kibroth Hattawa, the people set out for Hatzoreth. and they were at Hatzoreth. Chapter 12. Now Miriam and Aharon spoke against Moshe because of the Cushite woman whom he had taken, for he had taken a Cushite woman. And they said, Has Yahuwah spoken only through Moshe? Has he not also spoken through us? And Yahuwah heard it. And the man Moshe was very humble, more than all men who were on the face of the earth. And suddenly Yahuwah said to Moshe and Aharon and Miriam, You three come out to the tent of appointment. So the three came out. And Yahuwah came down in the column of cloud and stood in the door of the tent, and called Aharon and Miriam. And they both went forward, and he said, Hear now my words. If your prophet is of Yahuwah, I make myself known to him in a vision, and I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moshe. He is trustworthy in all my house. I speak with him mouth to mouth and plainly, and not in riddles. And he sees the form of Yahuwah. So why were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moshe? And the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against them, and he left. And the cloud turned away from above the tent, and look, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. And Aharon turned toward Miriam, and look, a leper. And Aharon said to Moshe, Oh, my master, please do not hold against us the sin in which we have done foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead when coming out of his mother's womb, with all his flesh half consumed. And Moshe cried out to Yahuwah, saying, O El, please heal her, please. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, If her father had but spit in her face, would she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and after that let her be readmitted. And Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people did not set out until Miriam was readmitted. And afterward the people departed from Hatzoroth, and they encamped in the wilderness of Paran. Chapter 13. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel. Send 1 man from each tribe of their fathers, every one a leader among them. And by the mouth of Yahuwah Moshe sent them from the wilderness of Paran, all of them men who were heads of the children of Israel. And these were their names. From the tribe of Reuben, Shammua, son of Zakur. From the tribe of Shimon, Shaphat, son of Hori. From the tribe of Yehuda, Caleb, son of Yefunah. From the tribe of Yissachar, Yigael, son of Yosef. From the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, son of Nun. From the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, son of Raphu. From the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, son of Sodi. From the tribe of Yosef, from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, son of Susi. From the tribe of Dan, Amaliel, son of Gamali. From the tribe of Asher, Shethur, son of Mikael. From the tribe of Naphtali, Nachbi, son of Wolfsi. From the tribe of Gad, Geuel, son of Maki. These are the names of the men whom Moshe sent to spy out the land. And Moshe called Hoshea, son of Nun, Yahshua. And Moshe sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, Go up here into the south, and go up to the mountains, and see what the land is like, and the people who dwell in it, whether strong or weak, whether few or many, and whether the land they dwell in is good or evil, whether the cities they inhabit are in camps or strongholds, and whether the land is rich or poor, and whether there are forests there or not. And you shall be strong, and bring some of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the season of the first fruits of grapes. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Zin, as far as Rehob, near the entrance of Hamath. And they went up through the south and came to Hebron, and Achiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the descendants of Anak, were there. Now Hebron had been built 7 years before Zoan in Mitzrayim. And they came to the Wadi Eshkol, and cut down from there a branch with 1 cluster of grapes. And they bore it between 2 of them on a pole, also of the pomegranates and of the figs. That place was called the Wadi Eshkol, because of the cluster which the men of Israel cut down from there. And they returned from spying out the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Moshe and Aharon and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. And they brought back word to them, and to all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they reported to him and said, "We went out to the land where you sent us, and truly it flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. But the people who dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are walled very great. And we saw the descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, while the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains. And the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and along the banks of the Jordan." And Caleb silenced the people before Moshe and said, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are certainly able to overcome it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." And they gave the children of Israel an evil report of the land, which they had spied out, saying, "The land through which we have gone as spies is a land eating up its inhabitants, and all the people who we saw in it are men of great size. And we saw there the Nephilim, sons of Anak, of the Nephilim, and we were like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and so we were in their eyes." Chapter 14. Then all the congregation lifted up their voices and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel grumbled against Moshe and against Aharon. And all the congregation said to them, "If only we had died in the land of Mitzrayim, or if only we had died in this wilderness. And why is Yahuwah bringing us to this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and children should become a prey? Would it not be better for us to turn back to Mitzrayim?" And they said to each other, "Let us appoint a leader, and let us turn back to Mitzrayim." Then Moshe and Aharon fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Joshua son of Nun, and Caleb son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had spied out the land, tore their garments. And they spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, "The land we passed through to spy out is an exceedingly good land. If Yahuwah has delighted in us, then he shall bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which is flowing with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against Yahuwah, nor fear the people of the land, for they are our bread. Their defense has turned away from them, and Yahuwah is with us. Do not fear them." But all the congregation said to stone them with stones. Then the esteem of Yahuwah appeared in the tent of appointment before all the children of Israel. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, "How long shall I be scorned by these people? And how long shall I not be trusted by them? With all the signs which I have done in their midst, let me strike them with the pestilence, and disinherit them, and make of you a nation greater and mightier than they." And Moshe said to Yahuwah, "Then the Mitzrites shall hear it, for by your power you brought these people up from their midst. And they shall say to the inhabitants of this land, that they have heard that you, Yahuwah, are in the midst of these people, that you, Yahuwah, are seen eye to eye, and that your cloud stands above them, and you go before them in a column of cloud by day, and in a column of fire by night. Now if you shall kill these people as one man, then the nations which have heard of your report shall speak, saying, because Yahuwah was not able to bring this people to the land which he swore to give them, therefore he slew them in the wilderness. And now I pray, let the power of Yahuwah be great, as you have spoken, saying, Yahuwah is patient and of great loving commitment, forgiving crookedness and transgression, but by no means leaving unpunished, visiting the crookedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation. Please forgive the crookedness of this people, according to the greatness of your loving commitment, as you have forgiven this people from Mitzrayim, even until now. And Yahuwah said, I shall forgive according to your word, but truly as I live, and all the earth is filled with the esteem of Yahuwah. For none of these men who have seen my esteem and the signs which I did in Mitzrayim and in the wilderness, and have tried me now these 10 times, and have disobeyed my voice, shall see the land of which I swore to their fathers, nor any of those who scorned me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit in him, and has followed me completely, I shall bring into the land where he went, and his seed shall inherit it. Since the Amalekites and the Canaanites are dwelling in the valley, turn back tomorrow, and set out into the wilderness by the way of the Sea of Reeds. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, How long shall this evil congregation have this grumbling against me? I have heard the grumblings against which the children of Israel are grumbling against me. Say to them, As I live, declares Yahuwah, as you have spoken in my hearing, so I do to you. The carcasses of you who have grumbled against me are going to fall in this wilderness. All of you who were registered according to your entire number, from 20 years old and above. None of you, except Caleb son of Jephunneh, and Joshua son of Nun, shall enter the land which I swore I would make you dwell in. But your little ones, whom you said would become a prey, I shall bring in, and they shall know the land which you have rejected. But as for you, your carcasses are going to fall in this wilderness, and your sons shall be wanderers in the wilderness 40 years, and shall bear your whorings, until your carcasses are consumed in the wilderness, according to the number of the days in which you spied out the land, 40 days. A day for a year, a day for a year. You are to bear your crookedness 40 years, and you shall know my breaking off. I am Yahuwah. I have spoken. I shall do this to all this evil congregation who are meeting against me. In this wilderness they are consumed, and there they die. And the men whom Moshe sent to spy out the land, who returned and made all the congregation grumble against him by bringing an evil report of the land, even those men who brought the evil report about the land, died by the plague before Yahuwah. Of those men who went out to spy out the land, only Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh remained alive. And when Moshe spoke these words to all the children of Israel, the people mourned greatly. And they rose up early in the morning and went up to the top of the mountain, saying, See, we have indeed sinned, but we shall go up to the place which Yahuwah has spoken of. But Moshe said, Why do you now transgress the mouth of Yahuwah, since it does not prosper? Do not go up, lest you be smitten by your enemies, for Yahuwah is not in your midst, because the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and you shall fall by the sword, because you have turned away from Yahuwah. Yahuwah is not with you. But they presumed to go up to the mountaintop, but neither the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah nor Moshe left the camp. So the Amalekites and the Canaanites who dwelt in that mountain came down and struck them, and beat them down even to Hormah. Chapter 15. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you have come into the land of your dwellings, which I am giving you, and you make an offering by fire to Yahuwah, an ascending offering, or a slaughtering to accomplish a vow, or as a voluntary offering, or in your appointed times, to make a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah, from the herd or the flock, then he who brings near his offering to Yahuwah shall bring near a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. You prepare with the ascending offering, or the slaughtering for each lamb. Or for a ram, you prepare as a grain offering 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil. And as a drink offering, you bring 1/3 of a hin of wine as a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. And when you prepare a young bull, as an ascending offering, or as a slaughtering to accomplish a vow, or as a peace offering to Yahuwah, then shall be brought with the young bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with half a hin of oil, and bring as the drink offering half a hin of wine as an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. This is what is done for each young bull, for each ram, or for each lamb or young goat, according to the number that you prepare. So you do for each one according to their number. Let all who are native do so with them, in bringing near an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. And when a sojourner sojourns with you, or whoever is among you throughout your generations, and would make an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah, as you do, so he does. One law is for you of the assembly, and for the sojourner who sojourns with you, a law forever throughout your generations. As you are, so is the sojourner before Yahuwah. One Torah, and one right ruling is for you, and for the sojourner who sojourns with you. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land to which I bring you, then it shall be when you eat of the bread of the land, that you present a contribution to Yahuwah. Present a cake of the first of your dough as a contribution of the threshing floor you presented. Of the first of your dough you are to give to Yahuwah a contribution throughout your generations. And when you sin by mistake, and do not do all these commands which Yahuwah has spoken to Moshe, all that Yahuwah has commanded you by the hand of Moshe, from the day Yahuwah gave command and onward throughout your generations, then it shall be, if it is done by mistake, without the knowledge of the congregation, that all the congregation shall prepare one young bull as an ascending offering, as a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah, with its grain offering and its drink offering, according to the right ruling, and one male goat as a sin offering. Then the priest shall make atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for their offering, an offering made by fire to Yahuwah, and their sin offering before Yahuwah, for their mistake. And it shall be forgiven all the congregation of the children of Israel, and the sojourner who sojourns in their midst, because all the people did it by mistake. And if a being sins by mistake, then he shall bring a female goat, a year old, as a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for the being who strays by mistake, when he sins by mistake before Yahuwah, to make atonement for him. And it shall be forgiven him. For him who does whatever by mistake, there is one Torah, both for him who is native among the children of Israel, and for the sojourner who sojourns in their midst. But the being who does whatever defiantly, whether he is native or a sojourner, he reviles Yahuwah, and that being shall be cut off from among his people, because he has despised the word of Yahuwah, and has broken his command. That being shall certainly be cut off. His crookedness is upon him. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moshe, and to Aharon, and to all the congregation. And they put him under guard, because it had not been declared what should be done to him. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, The man shall certainly be put to death, all the congregation stoning him with stones outside the camp. And all the congregation brought him outside the camp, and stoned him with stones, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe, and he died. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and you shall say to them, to make tzitzit on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a blue cord in the tzitzit of the corner. And it shall be to you for a tzitzit, and you shall see it, and shall remember all the commands of Yahuwah, and shall do them, and not search after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you went whoring, so that you remember and shall do all my commands, and be set apart unto your Elohim. I am Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, to be your Elohim. I am Yahuwah your Elohim. Chapter 16. And Korah, son of Yitzhar, son of Kehath, son of Levi, took both Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, and they rose up before Moshe with some of the children of Israel, 250 leaders of the congregation, called ones of the meeting, men of name. And they assembled against Moshe and against Aharon, and said to them, Enough of you, for all the congregation is set apart, all of them, and Yahuwah is in their midst. Why then do you lift up yourselves above the assembly of Yahuwah? And when Moshe heard, he fell on his face, and spoke to Korah and all his company, saying, Tomorrow morning Yahuwah shall make known who is his, and who is set apart, and bring him near to him, and let him bring near to him the one whom he chooses. Do this, take fire holders, Korah and all your company, and put fire in them, and put incense in them before Yahuwah tomorrow. And it shall be that the one whom Yahuwah chooses is the set-apart one. Enough of you, sons of Levi. And Moshe said to Korah,
Hear now, you sons of Levi. Is it a little to you that Elohim of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to perform the service of the dwelling place of Yahuwah, and to stand before the congregation to serve them, and that he has brought you near to himself, you and all your brothers, the sons of Levi, with you? Yet you seek the priesthood as well. Therefore you and all your company are set against Yahuwah. And Aharon, what is he that you grumble against him? And Moshe sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab. But they said, We are not coming up. Is it little that you have brought us up out of a land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, that you would also seize total rule over us? Also you have not brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Would you bore out the eyes of these men? We are not coming up. And Moshe became very displeased and said to Yahuwah, Do not respect their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, nor have I done harm to any of them. Then Moshe said to Korah, Tomorrow you and all your company shall be there before Yahuwah, you and they and Aharon, and take each one his fire holder, and you shall put incense in it. And let each one bring his fire holder before Yahuwah, 250 fire holders, and you and Aharon each one with his fire holder. So each one took his fire holder, and put fire in it, and laid incense on it, and stood at the door of the tent of appointment, with Moshe and Aharon. And Korah assembled all the congregation against them at the door of the tent of appointment. Then the esteem of Yahuwah appeared to all the congregation. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, Separate yourselves from the midst of this congregation, and let me consume them in a moment. But they fell on their faces and said, O Elohim of the spirits of all flesh, when one man sins, are you wroth with all the congregation? And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the congregation, saying, Move away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So Moshe rose up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, Please turn away from the tents of these wrong men. Do not touch whatever belongs to them, lest you be consumed in all their sins. Then they moved away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan and Abiram. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents, with their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moshe said, By this you know that Yahuwah has sent me to do all these works, that they are not from my own heart. If these die as all men do, or if they are visited as all men are visited, then Yahuwah has not sent me. But if Yahuwah creates what is unheard of, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into Sheol, then you shall know that these men have scorned Yahuwah. And it came to be as he ended speaking all these words, that the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, with their households, and all the men with Korah, with all their goods. So they and all those with them went down alive into Sheol, and the earth closed over them, and they perished from the midst of the assembly. And all Israel who were round about them fled at their cry, for they said, Lest the earth swallow us up. And a fire came out from Yahuwah and consumed the 250 men who were offering incense. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Say to Eleazar, son of Aharon the priest, to pick up the fire holders out of the blaze, for they are set apart, and scatter the fire some distance away, the fire holders of these men who sinned against their own lives. Let them be made into beaten plates as a covering for them before Yahuwah. Therefore they are set apart, and let them become a sign to the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the bronze fire holders which those who were burned up had brought, and they were beaten out as a covering on the slaughter place, a remembrance to the children of Israel, that no stranger who is not of the seed of Aharon should come near to offer incense before Yahuwah, and not be like Korah and his company, as Yahuwah had said to him through Moshe. But all the congregation of the children of Israel grumbled against Moshe and against Aharon on the next day, saying, You've killed the people of Yahuwah.
And it came to be when the congregation assembled against Moshe and against Aharon, that they turned toward the tent of appointment, and see the cloud covered it, and the esteem of Yahuwah appeared. And Moshe and Aharon came before the tent of appointment. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Arise from amidst this congregation, and let me consume them in a moment. And they fell on their faces. So Moshe said to Aharon, Take the fire holder and put fire in it from the slaughter place, and lay incense on it, and go, hurry to the congregation, make atonement for them, for wrath has gone out from Yahuwah. The plague has begun. And Aharon took it as Moshe commanded, and ran into the midst of the assembly, and saw that the plague had begun among the people. And he laid on the incense, and made atonement for the people, and stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stopped. And those who died in the plague were 14,700, beside those who died on account of Korah. Then Aharon returned to Moshe at the door of the tent of appointment, for the plague had stopped. Chapter 17. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and take from them a rod from each father's house, all their leaders according to their father's houses, 12 rods. Write each one's name on his rod, and write Aharon's name on the rod of Levi, for there is one rod for the head of each father's house. You shall then place them in the tent of appointment before the witness, where I meet with you. And it shall be that the rod of the man whom I choose buds, and I shall rid myself of the grumblings of the children of Israel, which they grumble against you. And Moshe spoke to the children of Israel, and all their leaders gave him a rod each, for each leader according to their father's houses, 12 rods, and the rod of Aharon was among their rods. So Moshe placed the rods before Yahuwah in the tent of the witness. And it came to be on the next day that Moshe went into the tent of the witness, and saw that the rod of Aharon of the house of Levi had budded, and brought forth buds, and blossomed, and bore ripe almonds. And Moshe brought out all the rods from before Yahuwah to all the children of Israel, and they looked, and each man took his rod. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, Bring Aharon's rod back before the witness to be kept as a sign against the rebels, so that you put an end to their grumblings against me, lest they die. And Moshe did as Yahuwah commanded him. So he did. And the children of Israel spoke to Moshe, saying, See, we shall die. We shall perish. We shall all perish. Anyone who comes near the dwelling place of Yahuwah dies. Shall we be consumed to die? Chapter 18. And Yahuwah said to Aharon, You and your sons and your father's house with you are to bear the crookedness against the set-apart place, and you and your sons with you are to bear the crookedness against your priesthood. But bring with you your brothers of the tribe of Levi too, the tribe of your father, to join you, and serve you while you and your sons are with you before the tent of the witness. And they shall guard your charge, and the duty of all the tent, but they do not come near the furnishings of the set-apart place and the slaughter place, lest they die, both they and you. And they shall be joined with you, and guard the duty of the tent of appointment, for all the service of the tent, but a stranger does not come near you. And you shall guard the duty of the set-apart place, and the duty of the slaughter place, so that there be no more wrath on the children of Israel. And see, I myself have taken your brothers, the Levites, from the midst of the children of Israel, a gift to you, given by Yahuwah, to do the service of the tent of appointment. But you and your sons with you are to guard your priesthood for all matters at the slaughter place, and behind the veil, and you shall serve. I have given you the priesthood as a gift for service, but the stranger who comes near is put to death. And Yahuwah spoke to Aharon, And see, I myself have also given you the charge of my contributions, all the set-apart gifts of the children of Israel. I have given them to you for the anointing, and to your sons as a law forever. This is yours of the most set-apart gifts, from the fire, all their offerings, all their grain offerings, and all their sin offerings, and all their guilt offerings, which they render to me, are most set apart for you and your sons. Eat it in the most set-apart place. Every male eats it. It is set apart to you. This also is yours, the contribution of their gift, with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel. I have given them to you and your sons and daughters with you, as a law forever. Everyone who is clean in your house eats it. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the new wine and the grain, their first fruits which they give to Yahuwah, I have given them to you. The first fruits of all that is in their land, which they bring to Yahuwah, are yours. Everyone who is clean in your house eats it. All that is dedicated in Israel is yours. Everyone opening a womb of all flesh which they bring to Yahuwah, whether man or beast, is yours. But to ransom, you shall ransom the firstborn of man, and the firstborn of the unclean beast you ransom. And ransom their ransomed ones when 1 new moon old, according to your valuation, 5 shekels of silver, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, which is 20 gerahs. But the firstborn of a cow, or the firstborn of a sheep, or the firstborn of a goat, you do not ransom. They are set apart. Sprinkle their blood on the slaughter place, and burn their fat as an offering made by fire, for a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. And their flesh is yours, as the wave breast, and as the right thigh it is yours. All the contributions of the set-apart gifts, which the children of Israel present to Yahuwah, I have given to you and your sons and daughters with you as a law forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before Yahuwah with you and your seed with you. And Yahuwah said to Aharon, You are not to have an inheritance in their land, nor have any portion in their midst. I am your portion and your inheritance among the children of Israel. And see, I have given the children of Levi all the tithes in Israel as an inheritance, in return for the service which they are serving, the service of the tent of appointment. And let the children of Israel no more come near the tent of appointment, lest they bear sin and die, because the Levites shall do the service of the tent of appointment. So they themselves bear their crookedness, a law forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they are to have no inheritance, but the tithes of the children of Israel, which they present as a contribution to Yahuwah, I have given to the Levites as an inheritance. That is why I have said to them, Among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the Levites, and say to them, When you take from the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them as your inheritance, then you shall present a contribution of it to Yahuwah, 1/10 of a tithe, and your contribution shall be reckoned to you as grain from the threshing floor, and as filling from the winepress. Thus you also present a contribution unto Yahuwah from all your tithes which you receive from the children of Israel, and you shall give from it the contribution to Yahuwah, to Aharon the priest. From all your gifts you present every contribution due to Yahuwah, from all the best of them, the set apart of them. And you shall say to them, When you have presented the best of it, then the rest shall be reckoned to the Levites as the yield of the threshing floor, and as the yield of the winepress. And you shall eat it in any place, you and your households, for it is your reward for your service in the tent of appointment. And bear no sin because of it, when you have presented the best of it. And do not profane the set-apart gifts of the children of Israel, lest you die. Chapter 19. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, This is a law of the Torah which Yahuwah has commanded, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they bring you a red heifer, a perfect one, in which there is no blemish, and on which a yoke has never come. And you shall give it to Eleazar the priest, and he shall bring it outside the camp, and shall slay it before him. And Eleazar the priest takes some of its blood with his finger, and sprinkles some of its blood 7 times toward the front of the tent of appointment. And the heifer shall be burned before his eyes. He burns its hide, and its flesh, and its blood, and its dung. And the priest shall take cedar wood, and hyssop, and scarlet, and throw them into the midst of the fire, burning the heifer. The priest shall then wash his garments, and shall bathe his body in water, and afterward come into the camp. But the priest is unclean until evening. And he who is burning it washes his garments in water, and shall bathe his body in water, and is unclean until evening. And a clean man shall gather up the ashes of the heifer, and place them outside the camp in a clean place. And they shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel, for the water of uncleanness. It is for cleansing from sin. And he who gathers the ashes of the heifer shall wash his garments, and is unclean until evening. And it shall be a law forever to the children of Israel, and to the sojourner who sojourns in their midst. He who touches the dead of any human being is unclean for 7 days. He is to cleanse himself with the water on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he is clean. But if he does not cleanse himself on the 3rd day, then on the 7th day he is not clean. Anyone who touches the dead of a human being and does not cleanse himself defiles the dwelling place of Yahuwah, and that being shall be cut off from Israel. He is unclean, for the water for uncleanness was not sprinkled on him. His uncleanness is still upon him. This is the Torah when a man dies in a tent. All who come into the tent, and all who are in the tent are unclean for 7 days. And every open vessel which has no cover fastened on it is unclean. Anyone in the open field who touches someone slain by a sword, or who has died, or a bone of a man, or a burial site is unclean for 7 days. And for the unclean being they shall take some of the ashes of the heifer, burnt for cleansing from sin, and running water shall be put on them in a vessel. And a clean man shall take hyssop, and dip it in the water, and shall sprinkle it on the tent, and on all the vessels, and on the beings who were there, or on the one who touched a bone, or the slain, or the dead, or a burial site. And the clean one shall sprinkle the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall cleanse himself, and shall wash his garments, and bathe in water, and shall be clean in the evening. But the man who is unclean and does not cleanse himself, that being shall be cut off from among the assembly, because he has defiled the set-apart place of Yahuwah. Water for uncleanness has not been sprinkled on him. He is unclean, and it shall be a law for them forever. And the one who sprinkles the water for uncleanness washes his garments, and the one who touches the water for uncleanness is unclean until evening. And whatever the unclean being touches is unclean, and the being who touches it is unclean until evening. Chapter 20. And the children of Israel, all the congregation, came into the wilderness of Zin in the 1st new moon, and the people stayed in Kadesh. And Miriam died there, and was buried there. Now there was no water for the congregation, and they assembled against Moshe and against Aharon. And the people contended with Moshe and spoke, saying, If only we had died when our brothers died before Yahuwah. Why have you brought up the assembly of Yahuwah into this wilderness that we and our livestock should die here? And why have you brought us up out of Mitzrayim to bring us to this evil place, not a place of grain, or figs, or vines, or pomegranates, and there's no water to drink? Then Moshe and Aharon went from the presence of the assembly to the door of the tent of appointment, and they fell on their faces. And the esteem of Yahuwah appeared to them. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Take the rod and assemble the congregation, you and your brother Aharon, and you shall speak to the rock before their eyes, and it shall give its water. And you shall bring water for them out of the rock, and give drink to the congregation and their livestock. And Moshe took the rod from before Yahuwah, as he commanded him. And Moshe and Aharon assembled the assembly before the rock. And he said to them, Hear now, you rebels, shall we bring water for you out of this rock? Then Moshe lifted his hand, and struck the rock twice with his rod. And much water came out, and the congregation and their livestock drank. But Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and Aharon, Because you did not believe me to set me apart in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you do not bring this assembly into the land which I have given them. These were the waters of Meribah, because the children of Israel contended with Yahuwah, and he was set apart among them. And Moshe sent messengers from Kadesh to the sovereign of Edom. This is what your brother Yisrael said. You know all the hardship that has befallen us, that our fathers went down to Mitzrayim, and we dwelt in Mitzrayim a long time, and the Mitzrites did evil to us and our fathers. And we cried out to Yahuwah, and he heard our voice and sent the messenger, and brought us up out of Mitzrayim. And see, we are in Kadesh, a city on the edge of your border. Please let us pass over through your land. We shall not pass over through fields or vineyards, nor drink water from wells. We shall go along the sovereign's highway,
We shall not turn aside, right or left, until we have passed over your border."
But Edom said to him,
"You did not pass over through me, lest I come out against you with the sword."
And the children of Israel said to him, "We shall go by the highway, and if I or my livestock drink any of your water, then I shall pay for it. Let me only pass over on foot without a word." But he said,
"You do not pass over."
And Edom came out against them with many men and with a strong hand. So when Edom refused to let Israel pass over through his border, Israel turned away from him. And the children of Israel and all the company departed from Kadesh and came to Mount Hor. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and to Aharon in Mount Hor, near the border of the land of Edom, saying, "Aharon is to be gathered to his people, for he is not to enter the land which I have given to the children of Israel, because you rebelled against my mouth at the water of Meribah. Take Aharon and Eleazar his son, and bring them up to Mount Hor, and strip Aharon of his garments, and put them on Eleazar his son, for Aharon is to be gathered to his people and die there." And Moshe did as Yahuwah commanded, and they went up to Mount Hor before the eyes of all the congregation. And Moshe stripped Aharon of his garments, and put them on Eleazar his son. And Aharon died there on the top of the mountain. And Moshe and Eleazar came down from the mountain. And when all the congregation saw that Aharon was dead, all the house of Israel wept for Aharon 30 days. Chapter 21. And the sovereign of Arad, the Canaanite, who dwelt in the south, heard that Israel was coming on the way to Athraim. And he fought against Israel, and took some of them captive. Then Israel made a vow to Yahuwah, and said, "If you deliver this people into my hand, indeed, then I shall put their cities under the ban." And Yahuwah listened to the voice of Israel, and gave up the Canaanites, and they put them and their cities under the ban. So the name of that place was called Hormah. And they departed from Mount Hor by the way of the Sea of Reeds to go around the land of Edom. But the being of the people grew impatient because of the way. And the people spoke against Elohim and against Moshe. "Why have you brought us up out of Mitzrayim to die in the wilderness? For there's no food and no water, and our being loathes this light bread." And Yahuwah sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many of the people of Israel died. Then the people came to Moshe and said, "We have sinned, for we have spoken against Yahuwah and against you. Pray to Yahuwah to take away the serpents from us." So Moshe prayed on behalf of the people. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Make a fiery serpent and set it on a pole. And it shall be that everyone who is bitten, when he looks at it, shall live." So Moshe made a bronze serpent and put it on a pole. And it came to be, if a serpent had bitten anyone, when he looked at the bronze serpent, he lived. And the children of Israel set out and encamped in Oboth. And they departed from Oboth and camped at Ayi ha-Abarim, in the wilderness which is east of Moab, toward the sunrise. From there they set out and camped at the Wadi Zered. From there they set out and camped on the other side of the Arnon, which is in the wilderness that extends from the border of the Amorites. For the Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Therefore it is said in the book of the battles of Yahuwah, Waheb in Suphah, the Wadi Arnon, and the slope of the wadi that turns aside to the dwelling of Ar, and lies on the border of Moab. And from there on to Beer, which is the well where Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Gather the people, and let me give them water." Yisrael then sang this song, "Spring up, a well, sing to it, a well that the leaders sank, which the nobles of the people dug with their staves, by the word of the inscriber." Then from the wilderness on to Matana, from Matana to Nahaliel, from Nahaliel to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley that is in the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, which looks down on the wasteland. And Yisrael sent messengers to Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, saying, "Let me pass through your land. We shall not turn off into fields or vineyards. We shall not drink water from wells, but go by the sovereign's highway, until we have passed over your border." But Sihon would not allow Yisrael to pass through his border. So Sihon gathered all his people together, and went out against Yisrael in the wilderness. And he came to Yahatz, and fought against Yisrael. And Yisrael struck him with the edge of the sword, and took possession of his land from the Arnon to the Yabok, as far as the children of Ammon. For the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Yisrael took all these cities, and Yisrael dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon and in all its villages. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the sovereign of the Amorites, who had fought against the former sovereign of Moab, and had taken all his land from his hand as far as the Arnon. That is why those who speak in Proverbs say, "Come to Heshbon, let the city of Sihon be built and established." For fire went out from Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon. It consumed Ar of Moab, the masters of the heights of the Arnon. Woe to you, Moab! You have perished, O people of Chemosh. He has given his sons as fugitives, and his daughters into captivity, to Sihon, the sovereign of the Amorites. Then we shot them. Heshbon has perished as far as Dibon, and we laid waste as far as Nophah, which reaches to Medaba. So Yisrael dwelt in the land of the Amorites. And Moshe sent to spy out Yazer, and they took its villages and drove out the Amorites who were there, and turned and went up by the way to Bashan. And Og, sovereign of Bashan, went out against them, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Do not fear him, for I have given him into your hand with all his people and his land. And you shall do to him as you did to Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon." And they struck him, and his sons, and all his people, until no remnant was left to him, and they took possession of his land. Chapter 22. And the children of Israel set out and camped in the desert plains of Moab, beyond the Yarden of Jericho. And Balak, son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was exceedingly afraid of the peoples, because they were many. And Moab was in dread because of the children of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this company is licking up all that is around us, as an ox licks up the grass of the field." Now Balak, son of Zippor, was sovereign of the Moabites at that time. And he sent messengers to Balaam, son of Beor, at Pethor, which is near the river in the land of the sons of his people, to call him, saying, "See, a people has come from Mitzrayim. See, they have covered the surface of the land, and are settling next to me. And now please come at once, curse this people for me, for they are too strong for me. It might be that I strike them and drive them out of the land, for I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." Whom the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian left with the fees of divination in their hands. And they came to Balaam and spoke the words of Balak to him. And he said to them, "Spend the night here, and I shall bring back word to you, as Yahuwah speaks to me." So the heads of Moab stayed with Balaam. And Elohim came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" And Balaam said to Elohim, "Balak, son of Zippor, sovereign of Moab, has sent to me, saying, 'See, a people has come out of Mitzrayim, and covered the surface of the land. Come now, curse them for me. It might be that I am able to fight against them and drive them out." And Elohim said to Balaam, "Do not go with them. You do not curse the people, for they are blessed." And Balaam rose in the morning, and said to the heads of Balak, "Go back to your land, for Yahuwah has refused to allow me to go with you." And the heads of Moab arose and went to Balak and said, "Balaam refuses to come with us." Then Balak again sent heads more numerous and more esteemed than they. And they came to Balaam and said to him, "This is what Balak, son of Zippor, said. Do not be withheld from coming to me, please, for I esteem you very greatly, and whatever you say to me I do. Therefore please come, curse this people for me." And Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, "Though Balak were to give me his house filled with silver and gold, I am unable to go beyond the word of Yahuwah my Elohim, to do less or more. And now please, you also stay here tonight, and let me find out what more Yahuwah says to me." And Elohim came to Balaam at night and said to him, "If the men come to call you, rise and go with them, but only the word which I speak to you that you do." And Balaam rose in the morning and saddled his donkey and went with the heads of Moab. But the displeasure of Elohim burned because he went. And the messenger of Yahuwah stationed himself in the way as an adversary against him. And he was riding on his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. And the donkey saw the messenger of Yahuwah standing in the way, with his drawn sword in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the way, and went into the field. So Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back onto the way. Then the messenger of Yahuwah stood in a narrow passage between the vineyards, with a wall on this side and a wall on that side. And when the donkey saw the messenger of Yahuwah, she pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck her again. And the messenger of Yahuwah went further, and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn aside, right or left. And when the donkey saw the messenger of Yahuwah, she lay down under Balaam. So Balaam's displeasure burned, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then Yahuwah opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you, that you have stricken me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey,
Because you have mocked me, I wish there was a sword in my hand, for I would have killed you by now.
And the donkey said to Balaam, Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden, ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever known to do so to you? And he said, No. Then Yahuwah opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the messenger of Yahuwah standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. And he bowed his head and fell on his face. And the messenger of Yahuwah said to him, Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? See, I have come out to stand against you, because your way is reckless before me. And the donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, I certainly would have killed you by now, and let her live. And Balaam said to the messenger of Yahuwah,
I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. And now if evil is in your eyes, let me turn back.
And the messenger of Yahuwah said to Balaam, Go with the men, but only speak the word that I speak to you, that you speak. Balaam then went with the heads of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the city of Moab, which is on the border at the Arnon, which was in the extremity of the border. And Balak said to Balaam, Did I not urgently send to you, calling for you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to esteem you? And Balaam said to Balak,
See, I have come to you. Now I am at all able to say somewhat. The word that Elohim puts in my mouth, that I speak.
And Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Hutzath. And Balak slaughtered cattle and sheep, and he sent some to Balaam, and to the heads who were with him. And it came to be in the morning, that Balak took Balaam and brought him up to the high places of Baal, and from there he saw the extremity of the camp. Chapter 23. And Balaam said to Balak,
Build 7 slaughter places for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here.
And Balak did as Balaam had spoken. And Balak and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. Balaam then said to Balak,
Stand by your ascending offering and let me go on. It might be that Yahuwah does come to meet me, and whatever he shows me I shall declare to you.
And he went to a bare height. And Elohim came to Balaam, and he said to him,
I have prepared the 7 slaughter places, and I have offered on each slaughter place a bull and a ram.
And Yahuwah put a word in the mouth of Balaam and said, Return to Balak, and this is what you say. And he returned to him and saw him standing by his ascending offering, he and all the heads of Moab. And he took up his proverb and said,
Balak, the sovereign of Moab, has brought me from Amram, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Yaakov for me, and come, rage at Yisrael. How do I curse whom El has not cursed? And how do I rage at whom Yahuwah has not raged? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I observe him. Look, a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations. Who shall count the dust of Jacob, and the number of 1/4 of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like his.
And Balak said to Balaam,
"What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have kept on blessing."
And he answered and said,
"Should I not heed to speak what Yahuwah has put in my mouth?"
And Balak said to him, Please come with me to another place. From where you see them, you only see the extremity, but not all of them. Curse them for me from there. And he took him to the field of Tosaphim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 slaughter places, and offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. And he said to Balak,
"Stand here by your sending offerings while I meet over there."
And Yahuwah came to Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Go back to Balak, and say this. So he went to him, and saw him standing by his ascending offering, and the heads of Moab with him. And Balak asked him,
"What did Yahuwah say?"
And he took up his proverb, and said,
"Rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, son of Zippor. El is not a man to lie, nor a man to repent. Has he said and would not do it, or spoken and would not confirm it? See, I have received to bless, and he has blessed, and I do not reverse it. He has not looked upon wickedness in Jacob, nor has he seen trouble in Israel. Yahuwah his Elohim is with him, and the shout of a sovereign is in him. El, who brought them out of Mitzrayim, is for them like the horns of a wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Jacob, nor is there any divination against Israel. Now it is said to Jacob and to Israel, What has El done? Look, a people rises like a lioness, and lifts itself up like a lion. It lies not down until it devours the prey, and drinks the blood of the slain.
And Balak said to Balaam, Do not curse them at all, nor bless them at all. And Balaam answered and said to Balak,
Have I not spoken to you, saying all that Yahuwah speaks, that I do?
And Balak said to Balaam, Please, come, let me take you to another place. It might be right in the eyes of Elohim that you curse them for me from there. And Balaam said to Balak,
Build 7 slaughter places for me here. Prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here.
And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. Chapter 24. And when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahuwah to bless Israel, he did not go as at other times to seek to use sorcery, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes and saw Israel encamped according to their tribes, and the spirit of Elohim came upon him. And he took up his proverb and said,
The saying of Balaam, son of Beor, and the saying of the man whose eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the words of El, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with eyes open wide. How good are your tents, O Yaakov, your dwellings, O Israel! Like wadis that stretch out, like gardens by a river, like aloes planted by Yahuwah, like cedars beside water. He makes water flow from his buckets, and his seed is in many waters. His sovereign is higher than Agag, and his reign is exalted. El, who brought him out of Mitzrayim, is for them like the horns of a wild ox. He devours nations, his enemies, and he breaks their bones. And with his arrows he smites. He bowed down, he lay down like a lion. Who would rouse him? Blessed is he who blesses you, and cursed is he who curses you.
Then the displeasure of Balak turned against Balaam, and he struck his hands together. Balak then said to Balaam, I summoned you to curse my enemies, and see, you have kept on blessing these 3 times, and now flee to your place. I said I would greatly esteem you, and see, Yahuwah has kept you back from esteem. And Balaam said to Balak,
Did I not also speak to your messengers, whom you sent to me, saying, If Balak should give me his house filled with silver and gold, I am unable to go beyond the word of Yahuwah, to do either good or evil of my own heart. What Yahuwah speaks, that I speak. And now see, I am going to my people. Come, let me advise you what this people is going to do to your people in the latter days.
And he took up his proverb and said,
The saying of Balaam, son of Beor,
and the saying of the man whose eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the words of El, and knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with eyes open wide. I see him, but not now. I observe him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and shall destroy all the sons of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession, and Seir shall be a possession, enemies. And Israel is doing mightily, and out of Jacob one shall rule, and destroy the remnant from Ar.
He then looked at Amalek, and took up his proverb and said,
Amalek was first among the nations, but his latter end is to perish forever.
He then looked on the Kenites, and he took up his proverb and said,
Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock. But Cain is to be burned. Till when does Asher keep you captive?
And he took up his proverb and said,
Oh, who does live when El does this? And ships shall come from the coast of Kittim, and they shall afflict Asher, and afflict Eber, and so shall he also perish.
And Balaam arose and left, and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way. Chapter 25. And Yisrael dwelt in Shittim, and the people began to whore with the daughters of Moab, and they invited the people to slaughterings of their mighty ones. And the people ate, and bowed down to their mighty ones. Thus Yisrael was joined to Baal Peor, and the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against Yisrael. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, Take all the leaders of the people, and hang them up before Yahuwah, before the sun, so that the burning displeasure of Yahuwah turns away from Yisrael. And Moshe said to the judges of Yisrael, Each one of you kill his men who are joined to Baal Peor. And see, one of the children of Yisrael came and brought to his brothers a Midianite woman before the eyes of Moshe, and before the eyes of all the congregation of the children of Yisrael, who were weeping at the door of the tent of appointment. And when Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aharon the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation, and took a spear in his hand, and he went after the man of Yisrael into the tent, and thrust both of them through, the man of Yisrael and the woman through her belly. Thus the plague among the children of Israel came to a stop, and those who died in the plague were 24,000. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aharon the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was ardent with my ardor in their midst, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my ardor. Therefore say to him, See, I am giving him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and to his seed after him a covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was ardent for Elohim, and made atonement for the children of Israel. And the name of the man of Israel who was struck with the Midianite woman, was Zimri, son of Salu, a leader of a father's house among the Shimonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was struck was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head of the people of a father's house in Midian. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Distress the Midianites, and you shall strike them, for they distressed you with their tricks, with which they deceived you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a leader of Midian, their sister, who was struck in the day of the plague because of Peor. Chapter 26. And it came to be after the plague that Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and Eleazar, son of Aharon the priest, saying, Take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel, from 20 years old and above, by their fathers' houses, everyone going out to the army in Israel. So Moshe and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the desert plains of Moab, by the Yarden of Jericho, saying, Take a census of the people from 20 years old and above, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe, and the children of Israel who came out of the land of Mitzrayim. Reuben, firstborn of Israel, sons of Reuben, of Hanok, the clan of the Hanokites, of Palu, the clan of the Paluites, of Hetzron, the clan of the Hetzronites, Of Carmi, the clan of the Carmites. These are the clans of the Reubenites, and their registered ones were 43,730. And the sons of Palu, Eliab, and the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. This Dathan and Abiram were the called ones of the congregation who contended against Moshe and against Aharon in the company of Korah. When they contended against Yahuwah, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah, when that company died, when the fire consumed 250 men, and they became a sign. But the sons of Korah did not die. Sons of Shimon, according to their clans, of Nemuel, the clan of the Nemuelites, of Yamin, the clan of the Yaminites, of Yakin, the clan of the Yakinites, of Zerach, the clan of the Zerachites, of Shaul, the clan of the Shaulites. These are the clans of the Shimeonites, 22,200. Sons of Gad, according to their clans, of Zephon, the clan of the Zephonites, of Haggai, the clan of the Haggites, of Shunai, the clan of the Shunites, of Ozni, the clan of the Oznites, of Eri, the clan of the Erites, of Erod, the clan of the Erodites, of Arele, the clan of the Arelites. These are the clans of the sons of Gad, according to their registered ones, 40,500. Sons of Yehuda, Er and Onan. And Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And sons of Yehuda, according to their clans, of Shelah, the clans of the Shelanites, of Peretz, the clan of the Perizzites, of Zerach, the clan of the Zerachites, and sons of Peretz, of Hetzeron, the clan of the Hetzeronites, of Hamul, the clan of the Hamulites. These are the clans of Yehuda, according to their registered ones, 76,500. Sons of Yissachar, according to their clans, of Tola, the clan of the Toalites, of Puah, the clan of the Punites, of Yashub, the clan of the Yashubites, of Shimron, the clan of the Shimronites. These are the clans of Yissachar, according to their registered ones, 64,300. Sons of Zebulun, according to their clans, of Sered, the clan of the Seredites, of Elon, the clan of the Elonites, of Yachaleel, the clan of the Yachleelites. These are the clans of the Zebulunites, according to their registered ones, 60,500. Sons of Yosef, according to their clans, by Manasseh and Ephraim. Sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the clan of the Macharites. And Machir brought forth Gilead. Of Gilead, the clan of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead. Of Yezer, the clan of the Yezerites. Of Helach, the clan of the Helekites. Of Asriel, the clan of the Asrielites. Of Shechem, the clan of the Shechemites. Of Shemida, the clan of the Shemidites. Of Hepher, the clan of the Hepherites. And Zelophehad, son of Hepher, had no sons but daughters. And the names of the daughters of Zelophehad, Machlah, and Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the clans of Manasseh, and their registered ones, 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim, according to their clans. Shuthleh, the clan of the Shuhathlites. Of Becher, the clan of the Bachrites. Of Tachan, the clan of the Tachanites. And these are the sons of Shuthalah. Of Aran, the clan of the Aaronites. These are the clans of the sons of Ephraim, according to their registered ones, 32,500. These are the sons of Yosef, according to their clans. Sons of Benjamin, according to their clans. Of Bela, the clan of the Bealites. Of Ashbal, the clan of the Ashbalites. Of Ahiram, the clan of the Ahiramites. Of Shephupham, the clan of the Shephufamites. Of Hupham, the clan of the Huphamites. And sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman of Ard, the clan of the Ardites. Of Naaman, the clan of the Naamites. These are sons of Benjamin, according to their clans, and the registered ones, 45,600. These are sons of Dan, according to their clans. Of Shucham, the clan of the Shuchamites. These are the clans of Dan, according to their clans. All the clans of the Shuchamites, according to their registered ones, 64,400. Sons of Asher, according to their clans. Of Yimnah, the clan of the Yimnahites. Of Yishwi, the clan of the Yishwites. Of Beriah, the clan of the Berites. Of the sons of Beriah. of Heber, the clan of the Heberites, of Malchiel, the clan of the Malchielites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Serach. These are the clans of the sons of Asher, according to their registered ones, 53,400. Sons of Naphtali, according to their clans, of Yatziel, the clan of the Yatzielites, of Guni, the clan of the Gunites, of Yetzer, the clan of the Yetzerites, of Shalem, the clan of the Shalemites. These are the clans of Naphtali, according to their clans, and their registered ones, 45,400. These are the registered ones of the children of Israel, 601,730. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, The land is to be divided to these as an inheritance, according to the number of names. To the large one you give a larger inheritance, and to the small one you give a smaller inheritance. Each one shall be given its inheritance according to their registered ones. But the land is divided by lot. They inherit according to the names of the tribes of their fathers. According to the lot their inheritance is divided between the larger and the smaller. And these are the registered ones of the clans of the Levites, according to their clans. Of Gershon, the clan of the Gershonites. Of Kehath, the clan of the Kehathites. Of Merari, the clan of the Merarites. These are the clans of the Levites. The clan of the Libnites, the clan of the Hebronites. The clan of the Machlites, the clan of the Mushites, and the clan of the Korahites. And Kehath brought forth Amram. And the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Mitzrayim. And to Amram she bore Aharon and Moshe, and their sister Miriam. And to Aharon were born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. And Nadab and Abihu died when they brought strange fire before Yahuwah. And their registered ones were 23,000, every male from a new moon old and above. For they were not registered among the other children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the children of Israel. These are the ones registered by Moshe and Eleazar the priest, who registered the sons of Israel in the desert plains of Moab, by the Yarden of Jericho. But among these there was not a man of those registered by Moshe and Aharon, the priest, when they registered the sons of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For Yahuwah had said of them, They shall certainly die in the wilderness. And not a man was left of them, except Caleb son of Jephunneh, and Joshua son of Nun. Chapter 27. Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, son of Hepher, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, from the clans of Manasseh, son of Joseph. And these were the names of his daughters, Machlah, Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moshe and before Eleazar the priest, and before the leaders and all the congregation by the doorway of the tent of appointment, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, yet he was not in the company of those who were met together against Yahuwah, in company with Korah, but he died in his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father be removed from among his clan, because he had no son? Give us a possession among the brothers of our father. Moshe then brought their case before Yahuwah, and Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak what is right. You should certainly give them a possession of inheritance among their father's brothers, and cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. And speak to the children of Israel, saying, When a man dies and has no son, then you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. And if he has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to the nearest relative in his clan, and he shall possess it. And it shall be to the children of Israel a law of right ruling, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, Go up into this Mount Abiram, and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And when you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people as Aharon your brother was gathered, because you rebelled against my mouth in the wilderness of Zin, in the strife of the congregation, to set me apart at the waters before their eyes. These were the waters of Meribah, at Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin. And Moshe spoke to Yahuwah, saying, Let Yahuwah, the Elohim of the spirits of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation, who goes out before them and comes in before them,
Who leads them out and brings them in, so that the congregation of Yahuwah be not like sheep without a shepherd?
And Yahuwah said to Moshe, Take Joshua son of Nun with you, a man in whom is the Spirit, and you shall lay your hand on him, and shall set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him command before their eyes, and shall put some of your esteem upon him, so that all the congregation of the children of Israel obey him. And he is to stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire before Yahuwah for him by the right ruling of the Urim. At his word they go out, and at his word they come in, both he and all the children of Israel with him, all the congregation. And Moshe did as Yahuwah commanded him, and took Joshua and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and laid his hands on him and commissioned him, as Yahuwah commanded by the hand of Moshe. Chapter 28. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel, and you shall say to them, Take heed to bring my offering, my food for my offerings made by fire as a sweet fragrance to me, at their appointed time. And you shall say to them, This is the offering made by fire, which you bring to Yahuwah, 2 male lambs a year old, perfect ones, daily, a continual ascending offering. The one lamb you prepare in the morning, and the other lamb you prepare between the evenings, with 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil, a continual ascending offering which was offered at Mount Sinai for a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahuwah, and its drink offering, 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. Pour out the drink to Yahuwah as an offering in the set-apart place, and the other lamb you prepare between the evenings, as the morning grain offering and its drink offering. You prepare it as an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil, with its drink offering, the ascending offering for every Sabbath, besides the continual ascending offering with its drink offering. And on the beginning of your new moons you bring near an ascending offering to Yahuwah, 2 young bulls and 1 ram, and 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones, 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil, for each bull, 2 lengths of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil, for the 1 ram, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb, as an ascending offering of sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. And their drink offering is 1/2 a hin of wine for a bull, and 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. This is the ascending offering for each new moon throughout the new moons of the year. And 1 male goat as a sin offering to Yahuwah is prepared, beside the continual ascending offering and its drink offering. And in the first new moon on the 14th day is the Pesach of Yahuwah. And on the 15th day of this new moon is a festival. For 7 days unleavened bread is eaten. On the first day is a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. And you shall bring near an offering made by fire, as an ascending offering to Yahuwah, 2 young bulls and 1 ram, and 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones they are for you. And their grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil. Prepare 3/10 of an ephah for a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. Prepare 1/10 of an ephah for each of the 7 lambs, and 1 goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. Prepare these beside the ascending offering of the morning, which is for a continual ascending offering. According to these you are to prepare the food of the offering made by fire daily for 7 days, as a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. It is prepared beside the continual ascending offering and its drink offering. And on the 7th day you have a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. And on the day of the first fruits, when you bring a new grain offering to Yahuwah at your festival of Shavuot, you have a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. And you shall bring near an ascending offering as a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs a year old, with their grain offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, 1 male goat to make atonement for you, perfect ones they are for you. Prepare them with their drink offerings, besides the continual ascending offerings with its grain offering. Chapter 29. And in the 7th new moon, on the 1st day of the new moon, you have a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. It is Yom Teruah for you. And you shall prepare an ascending offering as a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, and 1 male goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you, beside the ascending offering with its grain offering for the new moon, the continual ascending offering with its grain offering, and their drink offerings, according to their right ruling, as a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. And on the 10th day of this 7th new moon, you have a set-apart gathering, and you shall afflict your beings. You do no work. And you shall bring near an ascending offering to Yahuwah, a sweet fragrance, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones they are for you, and their grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, 1 male goat as a sin offering, besides the sin offering for atonement, the continual ascending offering with its grain offering, and their drink offerings. And on the 15th day of the 7th new moon, you have a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. And you shall celebrate a festival to Yahuwah 7 days. And you shall bring near an ascending offering, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah, 13 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs a year old, perfect ones they are, and their grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 lambs, and 1 male goat as a sin offering, beside the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. Then on the 2nd day, 12 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams and for the lambs, by their number according to the right ruling. Then 1 male goat as a sin offering, beside the continual ascending offering with its grain offering and their drink offerings. And on the 3rd day, 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offerings and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number according to the right ruling. And 1 goat as a sin offering, beside the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. Then on the 4th day, 10 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number, according to the right ruling. And 1 male goat as a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. Then on the 5th day, 9 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number according to the right ruling. 1 goat is a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. Then on the 6th day, 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number, according to the right ruling. And 1 goat is a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. Then on the 7th day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number, according to the right ruling. And 1 goat is a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. On the 8th day, you have an assembly, you do no servile work, and you shall bring near an ascending offering, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones, their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs, by their number according to the right ruling. And 1 goat is a sin offering, besides the continual ascending offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. These you prepare to Yahuwah at your appointed times, besides your vowed offerings and your voluntary offerings, as your ascending offerings and your grain offerings, as your drink offerings and your peace offerings. And Moshe spoke to the children of Israel according to all Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. Chapter 30. And Moshe spoke to the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying,
This is the word which Yahuwah has commanded. When a man vows a vow to Yahuwah, or swears an oath to bind himself by some agreement, he does not break his word. He does according to all that comes out of his mouth. Or if a woman vows a vow to Yahuwah, and binds herself by some agreement while in her father's house in her youth, and her father hears her vow, and the agreement by which she has bound herself, and her father has kept silent towards her, then all her vows shall stand, and every agreement with which she has bound herself stands. But if her father forbids her on the day that he hears, then none of her vows nor her agreements by which she has bound herself stand. And Yahuwah pardons her, because her father has forbidden her. But if she at all belongs to a husband, while bound by her vows, or by a rash utterance from her lips, by which she bound herself, and her husband hears it, and he has kept silent towards her, on the day that he hears, then her vows shall stand, and her agreements by which she bound herself do stand. But if her husband forbids her on the day that he hears it, then he has nullified her vow which she vowed, and the rash utterance of her lips, by which she bound herself, and Yahuwah pardons her. But any vow of a widow or a divorced woman, by which she has bound herself, stands against her, and if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound herself by an agreement with an oath, and her husband heard it, and has kept silent towards her, and did not forbid her, then all her vows shall stand, and every agreement by which she bound herself stands. But if her husband clearly nullified them on the day he heard them, then whatever came from her lips, concerning her vows or concerning the agreement binding her, it does not stand. Her husband has nullified them, and Yahuwah pardons her. Every vow and binding oath to afflict her being, let her husband confirm it, or let her husband nullify it. But if her husband is altogether silent at her from day to day, then he confirms all her vows or all the agreements that bind her. He confirms them because he kept silent towards her on the day that he heard. But if he nullifies them after he has heard, then he shall bear her crookedness.
These are the laws which Yahuwah commanded Moshe between a man and his wife, and between a father and his daughter, in her youth in her father's house. Chapter 31. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Take vengeance for the children of Israel on the Midianites. After that you are to be gathered to your people. And Moshe spoke to the people, saying,
Arm some of yourselves for the campaign, and let them go against the Midianites to take vengeance for Yahuwah on Midian. Send 1,000 from each tribe of all the tribes of Israel for the campaign.
So there were supplied from the tribes of Israel 1,000 from each tribe, 12,000 armed ones for the campaign. And Moshe sent them on the campaign, 1,000 from each tribe, them and Phinehas, son of Eleazar the priest, on the campaign, with the set-apart utensils and the trumpets for sounding in his hand. And they fought against the Midianites, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe, and killed all the males. And they killed the sovereigns of Midian, with the rest of those who were pierced, Iwi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, the 5 sovereigns of Midian. And they killed Balaam, son of Beor, with the sword. And the sons of Israel took all the women of Midian captive, with their little ones, and took as spoil all their livestock and all their possessions. And they burned with fire all the cities where they dwelt, and all their settlements. And they took all the spoil and all the booty, both man and beast. And they brought the captives and the booty and the spoil to Moshe, and to Eleazar the priest, and to the congregation of the children of Israel, to the camp in the desert plains of Moab, by the Yarden of Jericho. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest, and all the leaders of the congregation went to meet them outside the camp. But Moshe was wroth with the officers of the army, with the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, who had come from the campaign. And Moshe said to them,
Have you kept all the women alive? Look, they are the ones who caused the children of Israel, through the word of Balaam, to trespass against Yahuwah. in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of Yahuwah. And now kill every male among the little ones, and every woman who has known a man by lying with a man you shall kill. But keep alive for yourselves all the female children who have not known a man by lying with a man. And you, camp outside the camp 7 days. Whoever has killed any being, and whoever has touched any slain, cleanse yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. And cleanse every garment and every object of leather, and all the work of goat's hair, and every object of wood. And Eleazar the priest said to the men of the campaign who went to the battle, This is the law of the Torah which Yahuwah commanded Moshe. Only the gold, and the silver, the bronze, the iron, the tin, and the lead, every object that passes through the fire, you put through the fire, and it shall be clean. Only let it be cleansed with water for uncleanness. And whatever does not pass through the fire, you pass through water. And you shall wash your garments on the 7th day, and be clean, and afterwards come into the camp. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Count up the plunder that was taken of man and of beast, you and Eleazar the priest, and the heads of the fathers of the congregation. And you shall divide the plunder into 2 parts, between those who took part in the battle, who went out on the campaign, and all the congregation, and set aside a levy for Yahuwah on the men of battle, who went out on the campaign, 1 out of every 500 of man, and of the cattle, and of the donkeys, and of the sheep. Take it from their half, and give it to Eleazar the priest as a contribution to Yahuwah. And from the children of Israel's half, you shall take 1 of every 50, of man, of the cattle, of the donkeys, and of the sheep, of all the livestock, and give them to the Levites guarding the duty of the dwelling place of Yahuwah. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest did as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And the booty remaining from the plunder, which the people of the campaign had taken, was 675,000 sheep, and 72,000 cattle, and 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 human beings in all, of women who had not known a man by lying with a man. And the half, the portion for those who went out on the campaign, was in number 337,500 sheep, and the levy unto Yahuwah of the sheep was 675. And the cattle were 36,000, of which the levy unto Yahuwah was 72. And the donkeys were 30,500, of which the levy unto Yahuwah was 61. And the human beings were 16,000, of which the levy unto Yahuwah was 32 beings. So Moshe gave the levy which was the contribution unto Yahuwah to Eleazar the priest, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And from the children of Israel's half, which Moshe divided from the men who campaigned, now the half belonging to the congregation was 337,500 sheep, and 36,000 cattle, and 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 human beings. Then Moshe took from the children of Israel's half 1 out of every 50 drawn from man and beast, and gave them to the Levites, who guarded the duty of the dwelling place of Yahuwah, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And the officers who were over thousands of the campaign, the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, came near to Moshe, and they said to Moshe, Your servants have taken account of the fighting men under our command, and not a man of us is missing. So we have brought an offering for Yahuwah, what every man found of ornaments of gold, armlets and bracelets and signet rings and earrings and necklaces, to make atonement for ourselves before Yahuwah. And Moshe and Eleazar the priests received the gold from them, all the fashioned ornaments, and all the gold of the offering that they presented to Yahuwah from the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. The men of the campaign had taken spoil, every man for himself. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest received the gold from the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tent of appointment, as a remembrance for the children of Israel before Yahuwah. Chapter 32. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had much livestock, a large number. And they saw the land of Yazer and the land of Gilead, and saw that the place was a place for livestock. So the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moshe and to Eleazar the priest, and to the leaders of the congregation, saying, Ataroth and Dibon, and Yazer and Nimrah, and Heshbon and Ilale, and Sebam and Nebo and Beon, the land which Yahuwah had stricken before the congregation of Israel, is a land for livestock, and your servants have livestock. And they said, If we have found favor in your eyes, let this land be given to your servants as a possession, and do not let us pass over the Yarden. And Moshe said to the children of Gad and the children of Reuben, Are your brothers to go into the battle while you yourselves sit here? Now, why do you discourage the heart of the children of Israel from passing over into the land which Yahuwah has given them? Thus your fathers did when I sent them away from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up to the Wadi Ashkal and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, so that they did not go into the land which Yahuwah had given them. Then the displeasure of Yahuwah burned on that day, and he swore an oath, saying, Not one of the men who came up from Mitzrayim, from 20 years old and above, is to see the land which I swore to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, because they did not follow me completely, except Caleb, son of Yefuneh, the Kenizzite, and Joshua, son of Nun, for they have followed Yahuwah completely. So the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation that had done evil in the eyes of Yahuwah was destroyed. And see, you have risen in your father's place an increase of men, sinners, to add still more the burning displeasure of Yahuwah against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he shall once again leave them in the wilderness, and he shall destroy all these people.
Then they came near to him and said, Let us build sheep enclosures here for our livestock, and cities for our little ones. But let us ourselves be armed, hastening before the children of Israel, until we have brought them to their place. And our little ones shall dwell in the walled cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We shall not return to our homes until every one of the children of Israel has received his inheritance. For we shall not inherit with them on the other side of the Yarden and beyond, because our inheritance has fallen on us on this eastern side of the Yarden. And Moshe said to them,
If you make this promise, if you arm yourselves before Yahuwah for battle, and all your armed ones pass over the Yarden before Yahuwah, until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land has been subdued before Yahuwah, then afterward you shall return and be guiltless before Yahuwah and before Yisrael, and this land shall be your possession before Yahuwah. But if you do not do so, then see, you shall sin against Yahuwah, and know your sin is going to find you out. Build cities for your little ones, and enclosures for your sheep, and do what you have promised.
And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spoke to Moshe, saying, Your servants are going to do as my master commands. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our livestock are going to be there in the cities of Gilead. But your servants are passing over, every armed one of the army, before Yahuwah to battle, as my master says. And Moshe gave command concerning them to Eleazar the priest, to Joshua son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And Moshe said to them,
If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben pass over the Yarden with you, every man armed for battle before Yahuwah, and the land has been subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead as a possession. But if they do not pass over armed with you, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan.
Then the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As Yahuwah has said to your servants, so we do. We ourselves are passing over armed before Yahuwah into the land of Canaan, but the possession of our inheritance remains with us beyond the Yarden. So Moshe gave the children of Gad to the children of Reuben, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, the reign of Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, and the reign of Og, sovereign of Bashan, the land with its cities within the borders, the cities of the land round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Arur, and Atroth, Shophan, and Yazer, and Yagbah, and Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, walled cities and enclosures for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Ilale, and Kiriathaim, Nebo, and Baal Meon, the names being changed, Shibma. And they gave other names to the cities which they built. And the sons of Machir, son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it, and dispossessed the Amorites who were in it. So Moshe gave Gilead to Machir, son of Manasseh, and he dwelt in it. And Yair, son of Manasseh, went and took its small towns, and called them Hawath Yair. And Nobah went and took Kenath and its villages, and he called it Nobah, after his own name. Chapter 33. These are the departures of the children of Israel who went out of the land of Mitzrayim by their divisions, under the hand of Moshe and Aharon. And Moshe wrote down the starting points of their departures at the mouth of Yahuwah. And these are their departures according to their starting points. So they departed from Ramses in the first new moon on the 15th day of the first new moon, on the morrow of the Pesach. The children of Israel went out with boldness before the eyes of all the Mitzrites. And the Mitzrites were burying all their firstborn, whom Yahuwah had stricken among them. Also on their mighty ones Yahuwah had executed judgments. Then the children of Israel departed from Ramses and camped at Sukkot. And they departed from Sukkot and camped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. And they departed from Etham and turned back to Pi-ha-haroth, which is east of Baal-Zephon. And they camped near Migdal. And they departed from before Hariroth, and passed over through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham, and camped at Marah. And they departed from Marah, and came to Elim. And at Elim were 12 springs of water, and 70 palm trees. So they camped there. And they departed from Elim, and camped by the Sea of Reeds. And they departed from the Sea of Reeds, and camped in the wilderness of Sin. And they departed from the wilderness of Sin, and camped at Dophkah. And they departed from Dophkah, and camped at Alush. And they departed from Alush, and camped at Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. And they departed from Rephidim, and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. And they departed from the wilderness of Sinai, camped at Kibroth Hattawa. And they departed from Kibroth Hattawa, and camped at Hatzoreth. And they departed from Hatzoreth, and camped at Rithmah. And they departed from Rithmah, and camped at Ramon Paretz. And they departed from Ramon Paretz, and camped at Libnah. And they departed from Libnah, and camped at Risa. And they departed from Risa, and camped at Kehalatha. And they departed from Kehalatha, and camped at Mount Shapher. And they departed from Mount Shapher, and camped at Haradah. And they departed Haradah, and camped at Machaloth. And they departed from Machaloth, and camped at Tahath. And they departed from Tahath, and they camped at Terach. And they departed from Terach, and camped at Mithkah. And they departed from Mithkah, and camped at Hashmanah. And they departed from Hashmanah, and camped at Mazaroth. And they departed from Mazaroth, and camped at Benai Yakan. And they departed from Benai Yakan, and camped at Hor Haggadah. And they departed from Hor Haggadah, and camped at Yotbatah. And they departed from Yotbatah, and camped at Abronah. And they departed from Abronah, and camped at Etzon Geber. And they departed from Etzon Geber, and camped in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. And they departed from Kadesh, and camped at Mount Hor, on the boundary of the land of Edom. Then Aharon the priest went up to Mount Hor at the mouth of Yahuwah, and died there in the 40th year after the children of Israel had come out of the land of Mitzrayim, on the first day of the first new moon. Now Aharon was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. And the sovereign of Arad, the Canaanite, who dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. So they departed from Mount Hor and camped at Zalmonah. And they departed from Zalmonah and camped at Punan. And they departed from Punan and camped at Oboth. And they departed from Oboth and camped at Ayu ha-Abarim, at the border of Moab. And they departed from Ayim and camped at Dibon Gad. And they departed from Gibon Gad and camped at Almon Dibla Athema. And they departed from Almon Dibla Athema and camped in the mountains of Abiram before Nebo. And they departed from the mountains of Abiram and camped in the desert plains of Moab by the Yarden of Jericho. And they camped by the Yarden from Beth Yeshimoth as far as the Abel Shittim in the desert plains of Moab. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe in the desert plains of Moab by the Yarden of Jericho, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you have passed over the Yarden into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and shall destroy all their engraved stones, and shall destroy all their molded images, and lay waste all their high places. And you shall possess the land and dwell in it, for I have given you the land to possess. And you shall divide the land by lot as an inheritance among your clans. To the larger you give a larger inheritance, and to the smaller you give a smaller inheritance. Wherever the lot falls to anyone, that is his. You inherit according to the tribes of your fathers. And if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, Then it shall be that those whom you let remain shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and they shall trouble you in the land where you dwell. And it shall be that I do to you as I thought to do to them. Chapter 34. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land which falls to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan to its boundaries. Then your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Zin, along the border of Edom, and your southern border shall be eastward from the end of the salt sea. Then your border shall turn from the southern side of the ascent of Akarabim, continue to Zin, and be on the south of Kadesh Barnea. And it shall go on to Hatzor Adar, and continue to Atzmon. And the border shall turn from Atzmon to the Wadi of Mitzrayim, and it shall end at the sea. As for the western border, you shall have the great sea for a border. This is your western border. And this is your northern border. From the great sea you mark out your border line to Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you mark out your border to the entrance of Hamath. And the edge of the border shall be towards Zadad. And the border shall proceed to Ziphron, and it shall end at Hatzor Enan. This is your northern border. And you shall mark out your eastern border from Hatzor Enan to Shepham. And the border shall go down from Shaphan to Riblah, on the east side of Ain. And the border shall go down and reach to the eastern side of the sea of Kinnereth. And the border shall go down along the Yarden, and it shall end at the salt sea. This is your land with its surrounding boundaries. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel, saying,
This is the land which you inherit by lot, which Yahuwah has commanded to give to the 9 tribes, and to the half-tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance, and the half-tribe of Manasseh has received its inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half-tribe have received their inheritance beyond the Yarden of Jericho eastward, toward the sunrise.
And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, These are the names of the men who divide the land among you as an inheritance, Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun. And take 1 leader of every tribe to divide the land for the inheritance. And these are the names of the men from the tribe of Yehudah, Caleb son of Yefunah. And from the tribe of the children of Shimon, Shemuel son of Ammihud. From the tribe of Benjamin, Eladad son of Kislon. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki son of Yogli. From the sons of Joseph, a leader from the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel son of Ephod. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel son of Shephan. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Elzaphan son of Parnach. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paltiel son of Azam. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Asher, Achihud son of Shelomi. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Pedachel son of Ammihud. These are the ones Yahuwah commanded to divide the inheritance among the children of Israel in the land of Canaan.